Good morning, MJS. It's Miss Han. Happy Friday. It's May 15th, 2020, and we are celebrating lots of birthdays. There is one today, Ariana B. in 4th.
Hey,
Saturday. Yes.
I don't think it's Friday. It's Friday.
Friday. Saturday, we would be celebrating Ryan A's birthday in 4th, and Sunday, Carmelo C. in 1st, Colin M. in K, Catherine M. in 4, and Owen S. in 4 will all be celebrating birthdays. What a busy birthday weekend. I hope you guys have a great birthday. Today is the last official school week day of Look for the Good Week, and I hope you and your family have been working hard to look for the good. Today's question that maybe your family could talk about at dinner is, what is the best thing that happened to you this week? My week was full of great things, but one great thing that happened was that on Mother's Day, we celebrated. I got some flowers. We had a nice dinner together, and I got to see my mom from a distance. So I hope you had something to be grateful for this week as well. Also, the challenge is a fun and easy one. The challenge is to stay in touch with someone. So you could call someone, you could FaceTime them, you could send an email, or you could chat them. I know some kids who are on Google Classroom have been sending me Google Chats to stay in touch, which has been awesome, and you are welcome to do that too. I'm going to share my screen now so that we can enjoy a joke. Everybody needs a good joke in their day, and you guys are welcome to add some if you have any time this weekend. Our joke today is coming from Abigail.
Hi, I have 3 jokes for you today. The first one is, what is the best thing to put into your pie? Your teeth. The second one is, what colors would you paint the sun and the wind? The sun rose and the wind blew. Here's the third one. Why is slippery pavement like music? Because if you don't see sharp, you'll be flat. Bye.
Those were great jokes, Abigail. Thank you. You guys can go into the Melissa Jones Flipgrid here and click on jokes and add your own joke, and maybe I will share it on a morning message next week. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a read aloud for you guys today. And today's read aloud is The Invisible Boy by Trudy Ludwig, and it's illustrated by Patrice Barton. The Invisible Boy. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She is too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Mrs. Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball team. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's direction and, just as quickly, looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did, except Brian. He wasn't invited. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. Thank you for toasting my marshmallow. Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles. I got you now. Greedy pirates digging for treasure. Crackers? Arg! Yay! And superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. Hi. Hi, friend. Have a cookie. On Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Asked Madison as she points at Justin's food. It's bulgogi. Bul what? Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? There's no way I'd eat boogergi. And the kids laugh. All of them. That is, except Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian, yum. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. Hey, Justin, Amelia calls out from the tetherball court. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he adds before taking off. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asked the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads toward Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Mrs. Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio, let him work with us. Okay, I guess. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in houses like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. You can see them working here together. See them working on the story. See them sharing it. The crooked story we've made up on the spot. It's lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Brian, he hears someone shout. Hey, Brian, over here. Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Cookie? Thanks. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope that it really made you think about someone you could stay in touch with. Maybe there's someone in your class or at school or in your family who could really use a friend. So if you wanted to stay in touch with them, I'm sure that would be greatly appreciated. Before we go for the day, I'm just going to share my screen one more time and remind you that the MJS gratitude wall is up here on Padlet. I love seeing the pictures you've shared, reading about what you're grateful for, lots of dogs, lots of family members. You can still add to the gratitude wall. So go ahead and check it out. And I hope your weekend is as amazing as you are.